Good times. Not really.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to the Den. We got Bradley Carwin and Garcia. Welcome to the Cackle.
Howdy, howdy.
All right, so today we're going over our favorite books. Yeah, we're gonna hear a little bit about the book, what we took away from the book, and what have you like that. And today we are drinking from the Deftones.
Yeah, so it's Belching Beaver, which is the
Brewing company, yeah.
Yeah, and it's called Phantom Bride, which is an IPA. Phantom Bride is actually a song.
Yeah, by the Deftones.
By the Deftones. White Pony is the best album. You can't even argue that. So.
It's like a rosy, hoppy scent.
Like an IPA.
Yeah,
so
yeah, but like a slight rose.
Again, not a fan of IPAs. However, I am a huge Deftones fan.
It's good.
Chino Moreno is cool as fuck. But because of that, I'll give it a whirl.
Named after the ethereal song by the one and only Deftones. Phantom Bride IPA is a blend of Amarillo, Citra, Simcoe, and Mosaic hops, delicately balanced for the perfect drinkable mix of citrus and hoppy goodness. A truly original Deftone Belching Beaver collaboration envisioned by Chino Moreno and skillfully crafted by Thomas Peters. Sit back and put your headphones and drink away. Put on your headphones and drink away. Cheers. So yeah, that being said, and as you've seen the last couple
I'm actually not angry.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good. Not as IPA as you think it would be.
It's not super hoppy.
Yeah.
It's more, it tastes like if you were to liquefy like a bouquet of flowers.
Yeah, I can see that.
Make it alcoholic.
Yeah. So we're doing tragedy this week, bud. So these videos are going to have minimal, if no editing, because the computer that I use for editing...
Oh, that's right, it tanked.
It dropped it. So I have to get the screen reattached, and it's just like the actual...
He dropped it at speed, it sounds like.
No.
You weren't reenacting Lonely Island Boys and I threw it on the ground?
No.
That's not my dad. That's a cell phone.
Yeah, you've seen Dick in a Box.
Different song, but
different song, yeah.
Same people.
Same process. No, so I went to go pick something up, and you've seen how small my living space is right now.
Yeah.
So I just kind of like bumped it, and the whole thing, just like real slow motion, just like it fell slowly, and I was like, oh. So I went to grab it, and I missed it, and I was like, and I just lightly just went doop, and I heard it, I was like the bag hit, and then you hear a slide, and then doop, and I was like, oh, whatever, that's probably gonna fuck up the screen, I guess. So I picked it up and put it on. I was like, whatever. And then I went to school. Then I opened up the laptop, and the screen was dark. And I heard the boom, laptop turning on, and I was like,
guess I'm taking notes by hand.
Awesome. Yeah, basically. Yeah. But so all that is to say, very little editing. Editing is going to be going on with the video. So
if you hear me hacking up a lung, it's because he can't edit it out, and I was given the creeping crud by my wife.
Yes.
She's been sick since
you know what they say.
Sunday.
Sharing is caring.
That's crap.
So in the last video we did a
and that's how the Black Plague got started.
Sharing is caring. So I did a peanut butter shot, and so this week I'm gonna go ahead and try Old Smoky Tennessee Moonshine.
That was not flavored?
35% alcohol. It's apple pie moonshine.
Apple pie.
But I was just reading.
That's my favorite one.
Yeah. So
actually, I take it back. They do make a peach one. It's super good.
Yeah, but only 35. I really hardly call it moonshine. Ooh. Oh, wow.
They're delicious.
That is good. I'm sipping on that throughout this. I'll drink that.
That's a sipper.
I ain't shooting it. You've read that book?
Which one? The Name of the Wind?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So good.
Yeah, I think I gave it to you.
I read it on the Kindle halfway through. And then I was like, I can't do this and work at the same time. So I got the audiobook version for like $7.
Nice. You lucked out because it's expensive.
Yeah, well, I do the Kindle Unlimited.
Oh.
So it's like $9, and you get
if you buy the book and
well, you get a shit ton of books free, and if you have the book on Kindle and it has an audio version, then you can get the audio version at fucking like
At cost.
hella discounted price.
Because
So it's
normally,
like
audiobooks
$7.
are... And I think
$20.
that's partially what... And you know what's so funny? I was actually looking this up. I know that he had done it years and years ago, but I just kind of forgot. No, for audiobooks. So my favorite like series is the Dresden Files, like we talked about the previous episode. But James Marsters is the narrator for the Harry Dresden books. Did you ever watch like Buffy or?
Yeah.
Do you remember Spike?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's James Marsters.
No shit.
Yeah. So he's not actually English. Duh.
Yeah. That's just like all like a lot of the American heroes are like British or Canadian actors. Like what the shit?
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's true. Nathan Fillion.
Yeah, Spider-Man.
Super Canadian. Spider-Man?
He's
British. British.
Yeah.
I was like, he's not Canadian.
No, it's a British and
What are you
English.
talking about?
Or Canadian.
Figure it out.
Figure it out.
So close.
Pitter patter.
Let's get at her. Yeah, we've been watching too much Letterkenny lately.
No such thing.
Figure it out.
Figure it out. To be fair. Which season are you on?
4th. Yeah,
okay, that's why you're on the harmonization.
Oh yeah, because that's like the second half of the 3rd season or whatever.
Yeah, because at first it just starts off.
To be fair. No. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. If you haven't watched Letterkenny, it's on Hulu. I'm sure it's... I don't know if it's somewhere else.
It's a Canadian TV program from Crave TV or crave.tv.ca, but it's on Hulu. They got the rights to it. It's not on Amazon or Netflix, so you can only find it on Hulu right now. But yeah, if you get the chance to check out Letterkenny, you have Hulu, whatever. Definitely check it out.
And again, if you don't mind dealing with ads, yeah, we're not sponsored by Hulu.
Any of those.
I wish. Holy hell.
Yeah, we're not sponsored by Amazon, Hulu, Netflix. So.
But for Hulu, even if you have like if you don't mind ads every so often or whatever, the basic version of Hulu is $1. It's $1 a month. Yeah, that's how I ended up initially getting it.
There's no reason.
And then I got it tacked on into my Spotify.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was like $12.99 for the year.
That's not bad.
That was awesome.
Yeah, I might do that.
Ads do get annoying because they happen every, 10, 15 minutes or whatever, and then they're like 90 seconds.
Yeah.
But that's, like watching TV.
Yeah, it comes with the territory.
Yeah, I paid $1. I'll put up with the ads.
Exactly.
Yeah. But it doesn't happen during movies.
That's good.
But very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would piss people off, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so James Marsters does the narration, and he sounds like if I were to... Because whenever you read a book, you understand that you're reading a dead, shavings of a dead tree and hallucinating, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's essentially what you're doing. You're reading, you're reading pages and hallucinating a scene or person or voice in your own head.
That's from a thing.
I'm pretty sure it was on Facebook or something.
It was written in a book.
Maybe. Did you hallucinate it while you were reading it?
Yeah, I was like, oh my god, this is like fucking Inception. Because you're reading...
Did I just break the fourth wall?
You're reading, and it's a character talking to another character about reading... and I was just like, whoa, fucking Jesus.
Tunnel vision with like all the mirrors and stuff.
Yeah, I was like, oh Jesus Christ. It was like that scene where Spider-Man versus Mysterio.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, well, you already know Mysterio's a bad guy, right? Or the other
Jake
character.
Gyllenhaal?
Yeah,
No
Jake
idea.
Gyllenhaal. He's Mysterio.
Okay.
It's pretty obvious.
Which annoys the hell out of me because I'll still go watch it because I really do like him as Spider-Man.
Definitely.
But that's not Mysterio in the genuine. I assume this is some kind of alternate universe version, seeing as how they're going off the Miles Morales storyline rather than the OG Spider-Man. That Mysterio in the standard comics actually doesn't have any powers. He's actually just a VFX guy. Oh, really?
Watch the movie.
Oh, okay. It looked like he had actual powers, and I'm like,
awesome.
That doesn't seem plausible. So, all that to say, audiobooks are really cool for me if they're dynamic or if they have a really
full
strong...
cast audio, or a full cast.
Or even if it's just the one reader. I don't like British voices, like male voices, just don't for whatever reason. Yeah. But I really tried to find it somewhere that I wasn't going to have to pay $60 per book. It's rough. Audiobooks are incredibly expensive, which I get because it's somebody potentially famous who's reading for 10 to 20 hours.
Like the Stan Lee one, the Stan Lee book.
Sure, I don't know who narrated it.
Well, I don't know who narrated it, but it's Stan Lee Alliance, and it's one of Stan Lee's last pieces of work before he died. And he collabed with the audio for the book.
Oh wow!
And it's a redonkulous story. It's an amazing podcast, and I got it for free with my 1 free credit a month.
There you go.
But like I said, if you double up your Kindle Unlimited, so you get your book for free, and then it has an audible counterpart. You can get the audible book for $7, $7.50 or some shit like that.
Yeah, so I'd have to pick Audible back up. Honestly, I'm just trying to find it somewhere. Anywho,
well, my buddy's on a service right now. He's testing it out for the first month. He's gonna let me know how it is about next week. He'll let me know how it turns out. And it's
is it through
one
the
of those
libraries?
one where I don't remember, but he pays I think it's like $5 or $10, and he gets a fucking slew of audiobooks to choose from. But they start throttling your book choices after so many of them. And I'm like, that's a little ridiculous. So, I mean, I feel like, that's a good plan. But if you're going to do that, then do it at like a reasonable number.
Couple of bucks.
Well, no, I'm not doing it at a reasonable number, like, 25. There's 30 days in a fucking month. And if you listen to an audiobook a day, which is about 8 hours on average, then by the end of the month, when you get throttled, I can understand that, throttling the selection at that point. Or maybe at 20, so you get 10 days to struggle through. Mm-hmm. But I think he has it at 10, so you have 20 days of fucking struggle.
Something I did find out in regards to audiobooks, I can't name the website right now, but there is a website, and also on YouTube. There are, because I was looking for that, the first book of the Dresden series is called Stormfront.
Yeah.
And so I was looking for the one read by James Marsters. But there are a couple, but I wanted to listen to that specific version. But there were a couple that are like amateur read, and they're pretty good. So you could always do that way too.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, if you wanted to forego any type of cost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, well, the other one is
you have options.
Is which we don't condone at all. Is a Pirate Bay.
Yeah. That's why I didn't mention it.
Yeah, we don't condone that. But I mean, like I said, I like Audible, and it's like it supports the narrators and the authors, and combined with Kindle Unlimited, is not too bad because you're figuring I'm paying $20, and I get all the books I can read.
And I was gonna say, foregoing that, I'd rather support somebody who took their time to record 2 chapter sections on YouTube, and boost his numbers a little bit. He put in the work.
Exactly.
He didn't just drag click onto friggin' Pirate Bay and just let people start seeding it.
Yeah.
Anyhow, Leo earlier this week did a synopsis
podcast.
Separate entire video.
No, not video. Podcast,
just the podcast version.
So if you follow us on the podcast, then you're going to see that the format's a little different, and so we'll be testing different things on different platforms. Okay, and
welcome, guinea pigs.
Yeah. So on the podcast platform, and we have had a lot of response for it so far. For it being up for only, what are we on, Thursday? For it being up only 3 days, we've had a lot more interactions with that podcast, with that one episode, than we have with a majority of the YouTube. So we're going to go ahead and try to bring that style in, which is more of... We're clearly not... Well, we are alpha males, but...
amateurs.
No. Yes and no. But we have a mindset towards growth and towards going after what we want and what we view as succeeding. Whatever our goal is, we put in the work to get it. And we're not motivational speakers, but what I wanted to do with the Den is bring...
we could be. You can do it.
Yeah.
See how easy that is?
I wanted to bring the Den, the Cackle together as to show that we support y'all just as much as you support us, And we've gone through a lot in life, and we each have our own story and our own tribulations that we've gone through, trials.
Adulting sucks.
Yeah. Oh, even before that. So, and it kind of made us who we are, and it gave us our mindset for seeking knowledge, for growing, and for going after what we want in whatever way we see fit, and not letting us get down.
Even if it means going to work at 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah, exactly. So, the next podcast,
but I'll bitch about it too. That's my God-given right. I earned this right.
So the next podcast I want to do, and I'm going to try to get Bradley to join me on that podcast, is going to be on major changes in life. We might actually get into it in this YouTube video a little bit. Is changes in life like career changes, and that's a big one that I want to touch on. So
I just went through.
Well, that's exactly why I want to bring you into it. And I've been through so many career changes. I'm going through another one right now, and scary, yes, but it's definitely something that deserves to be talked about. So all that podcast, that's what the next one's going to be out, and that'll be out on Monday or Tuesday.
I don't know whether it reminded me of The Matrix. Neo didn't make his first jump. Does that mean he didn't keep trying to make that jump? No, he did. And then he kicked Agent Smith's ass.
Oh, yeah. I was like, I thought he just tried that one time.
Well, you know what I mean. He did some...
Montage!
He said, fuck jumping. And just flew.
And just did it. Oh, yeah, that's right. He didn't even jump.
He's just doing his Superman thing.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, my God. Best fight scene.
So, again, he did his podcast earlier in the week. So, he's already, gone through the meat of his favorite book. So, for my favorite book, at this point, it's called The Name of the Wind. I don't know if y'all can see that all that well. It's written by Patrick Rothfuss. So I read this.
And keep going on.
7, 8 years ago, something like that. I want to say my brother bought it for me for my birthday. And it was astounding.
It's narrated by Nick Podell. Podell?
Oh. I don't know. That sounds familiar. But now I'm going to look at his face.
And this... go on. So you first started reading this series, or this book.
Yeah. It's not a series, and that's going to be... If we're going to give a con, that's going to factor in. So, The Name of the Wind is an incredible book. It came out in 2007. So 12 years ago. And I read it like 8 or 9 years ago.
This is one.
Sorry.
The second book came out, I want to say like 4 or 5 years later. And we're still waiting on the third book. Yeah. And he's talked about it. The second book is called The Wise Man's Fear. I don't know if he has a working title for that third book.
The Audible is 28 hours.
Oh, it's a
listening.
I was gonna say it's a fat book.
It's hefty.
It's a fat book, and you can tell by how many times I've read. This is my personal copy. If you look at the binding here, it's pretty worn. I'm not one of those. I'll clarify. I don't dog-ear pages. I don't believe in that. I do own bookmarks. However, I'm not somebody who's like keeping it in a hermetically sealed, climate-controlled bubble, because it's my favorite book. My books, if you look through my library and stuff like that, they're well-loved, as I refer to them, which means that, they travel with me. They get tossed in my bag because when I go to work and stuff like that and I got time to kill, I've got a book or I've got the app on my phone. But
who was your favorite character?
Well, the main character. I'm going to try not to go into too many details about this book because I really do want people to read it. And it's really easy. Everything about this book
have to give a light
can ruin
synopsis.
Something. Yes.
You still have to give a light synopsis of the story.
Yeah.
So, let's go with a light synopsis first.
Yeah.
And then we'll go into your favorite character and why he was your favorite character. But we also have to get what was your favorite part of the story, and you don't have to give too much context. Yeah. But we got to get that.
So it's actually called the King Killer Chronicle. So there's just so much in the beginning that I'm like, I don't want to ruin that. So essentially, it starts out with.
Well, you can start off with the first opening scene.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So it starts out with a guy being robbed on the road. Bear in mind, this is set in what you would consider like medieval times or whatever. And so he's being accosted by highway bandits.
Genre first.
Oh, so it's absolute fantasy.
Yeah.
Pure fantasy.
So guy being robbed on the road.
Yeah, guy being robbed on the road. He and it's not. I'm sorry. They're essentially highway bandits, but they're actually the guard.
Yeah.
Who are just dickbags.
Yeah.
Not surprised. Anyways, ends up heading into this kind of random town. Walks into a tavern, and the guy running the bar there, his name is Kaboth. And I'm trying to remember his name, because he's essentially the one writing the story or narrating it, but his name's the scribe. He eventually talks Kaboth into actually hypothetically revealing himself, because the guy's in hiding.
Yeah.
It's called the King Killer Chronicle for a reason. So he's owner and runner of this tavern. He gets the guy to write his story down, and he has the phrase "larger than life" was created for this character.
Yeah.
So he tells the scribe, "I'll tell you my entire life story in 3 days." And the scribe goes, "You're out of your fucking mind. I just came from some duke in Farland."
Hold on.
And that took 2 weeks.
Hold on. The way he tested the scribe before he told the story.
The writing test. Yes. Yes. So, which is a cool little detail. So the scribe writes in a particular way. He doesn't, use like our phonetic alphabet, A, B, C, D, E, blah, blah, blah. Or he writes in sounds, essentially. Yeah. So he has a lexicon for sound. So whenever you're speaking, he can actually, technically write faster than you can speak, which Kaboth didn't believe at first. So he gets halfway through a sentence and then starts saying random nonsense words, duck, moose, guava juice, and then he goes up for a little bit,
and it's
he's like,
amazing.
"All right, put your pen down," and he's like, "What? Why?" Because the guy's into it. He's just banging it out. And so he spins it around, and he's like, "Oh, that's pretty good." And so he tests out a couple of words, writing out the sounds of them or whatever. And he's like, "That took me like 3 years to invent, and you picked it up in 10 seconds." Yep. So that's kind of the thing. So Kaboth is
a legend.
Sword. He has a legend.
The sword.
I'm talking about his mind, though. He's a savant.
Yeah.
He's just
he's
brilliant
a
on a
genius.
scale. Yeah, that's kind of the thing. And and he's not like
he's once in a lifetime.
He's not the biggest, brawniest. He's a big dude, average, whatever the hell. And he's got a lot of
more muscular than average.
Yeah,
height-wise average.
For that time, people were pretty buff back then.
Height-wise average, described as...
he wasn't a brick wall, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No. But he fought a lot as a kid and all that stuff. So, yeah, he got pretty scrappy.
The way he gets into that college.
Yes. Yeah, the tests. Oh, yeah. And he's younger than everyone.
What happens
he has
to him
no
on
money.
the way to the college?
Not only does he not pay for the college, they fucking pay him.
Yeah.
And he's like 2 years younger than anybody who's ever attended there before.
Yeah.
So
but he's been through some shit, though.
Oh. I again, to the alpha male comment earlier, being an alpha male does not mean, and it's the stupidest fucking comment, I'll never ever say that to my kid. Dudes cry. Shit happens.
Yeah. Oh,
Fuck
yeah. Oh, that's gonna
bullshit.
be.
That's a toxic masculinity horse shit.
Yeah. No. All right. So being alpha male isn't.
If you want to make fun of me for crying? I'll fight you. Which is the most.
That
is the most woke alpha male shit.
That's not alpha male either. It's not. It's not fighting. It's not.
I know what you mean.
It's not crying. It's
being
the
full of shit
leader. It's being a leader, being true to not only to yourself, but when you walk into a room, people go, that man is exactly who he says he is. That man right there, what you see is exactly what you get.
Not with me. I have hidden depths.
Nah, well, all right, yeah, to a point. To a point.
I just like saying the word
depths.
Wow. For free or do I have to pay for
exam.
Doctor insurance.
No.
Wait a minute. So
not Obamacare. We don't take that.
That's skipping kind of far ahead.
Yeah.
So he says, I just, got the life story. Who's nowhere near as famous and nowhere near as crazy a life as you. The Duke of Muck and Ducklands.
He figured it out. How did he figure out that this guy could possibly be the guy?
Oh, he wasn't 100% sure. That was kind of the thing.
Well, that's what I'm saying. How did he find out? Because it says.
I don't remember that portion of it. I thought he had strung together a bunch of clues to try and narrow it down.
It was clues and people saying stuff.
Yeah.
But what
he's a scribe, so he collects
solidified it was the sword.
Oh, the one that hangs above the bar. Ah, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, it was the wood. It was the wood for the. It was the sword, but it was the
sword.
Wood.
Yeah.
Because remember the
had
wood.
A particular black.
The black wood that could not be fucking.
It didn't reflect light.
Yeah, well, it was
something
like super got indestructible.
So in this world, they don't have wizards and sorcerers necessarily. They do have a version of, I would call it magic, but it's more a form of alchemy. Mm-hmm. It's
more ran by brains than bronze.
Think
not to say that there aren't brawny dudes out there.
For sure.
And this
which magic, he was brawny.
This magic gives them, more
different
strength.
Abilities, so that there is a version of they call it sympathy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So which makes sense because if any of you have watched Full Metal Alchemist, stuff like that, what's the main rule?
Equal trade.
Yeah. So you don't get something for nothing. So with sympathy, it's kind of the same way. You still have to put in a certain amount of effort, timing, prevailing circumstances, temperature. Think like creating like a potion or something like that. But they go for different effects. One of his favorite teachers is in his artificer class. Is trying to create artifice. F-I-C-E. I don't think that's right. I'm not sure it's wrong either, though.
No matter what you think.
I can't.
Artifice.
I can't force you to be right. Anyway, he is trying to, his teacher's lifelong goal. He's teaching a class and all that stuff, but, they all have their own. He's so good at creating.
The dick bag at the library.
Fuck that guy. He beats his ass, too.
I don't remember.
Beats his ass.
Oh.
But that's his favorite teacher, and he loves this kid because this kid's fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
And so they focus a lot on making lamps and stuff like that, and his goal, the teachers, is to make an ever burning lamp. So there's just a lot of different applications. There's a medical portion of this school that he takes classes in. There's
so before he gets into the school.
Yeah. His family. So he starts giving his story to the scribe.
We'll skip that actually over. We're gonna go ahead and skip.
A good idea.
We're skipping ahead.
Just know he has a loving family, and it's very sad. And his whole upbringing as an orphan.
Every hero has a tragedy.
Oh, but the whole part where he's growing up just starving, and that's the part I kid you not, I fucking bawled.
What was it? It just reminded me of that anime, the dude and the piano in the woods. No, it's I forget what it is, but it's just it's good. Yeah. We'll talk about that one later. But it reminds me of that. So let's go ahead. We're gonna skip forward, fast forward to his entry into the academy, the college.
Yeah.
And it's the most prominent school and the only school.
If you have an aptitude for it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, not only an aptitude.
You have to have the capability to maintain your alar.
Yeah, and it's the aptitude and the financial standing. Because the college
schools back then, it wasn't cheap.
No, not at all. And colleges are meant for families of prominence. And if you have enough money, even if you have subpar standards, you can pay extra in order to get in, correct?
Sure. Well, and the thing is, too, is, I mean, they did have work programs at the schools and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They even talk, working in the library, working in the medical hall.
I mean, it's the same thing to college nowadays.
Sure. Yeah, but there's work programs.
Even when you're still working, you still had to pay for your way in.
Yeah, and so this guy's a savant, too. So
how does he get in?
He ends up in the city, and it's rough. But he finally gets some good luck going at the very end. He manages to scrape together just enough money to get to this school that he had learned about from a previous traveling companion with his family. And one of the processes for entry into this school is, again, can you afford it? And then you also have to go through a committee process. So there's the committee of the headmasters of each subject, and then you'll be subject to a battery of questions based on whatever.
Department heads.
Yeah.
That's not what they call them. That's just a layman's term over.
Correct.
Yeah.
And the thing is, too, is that at this point, I don't remember his exact age, but he's 14 maybe.
Oh, yeah.
13,
teenager,
14.
Teenager.
Yeah, he's young. And most of the people entering the school are 17, 18 years old.
I'm going to go ahead and pause you real quick.
Sure.
Welcoming to the den, we have Clinton Hockenberry. How you doing today, brother?
Oh, not too bad. Yeah.
It's like he knows.
I know, right? So we're reviewing a book right now. You want to hang out for it?
Sure.
Alrighty, so we're going over The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. And we're have you heard that book or read that book? It's on Audible.
I have not.
It's really good, man. It's gotten pretty famous as of late, but see, I read it most of 10 years ago. So
yeah, I just listened to it recently.
Well, it got, just as a side note, it got really popular because of his similarity to another author, George R.R. Martin, and the fact that he takes fucking 10 years to write a goddamn book. So we're all making that joke that his writing style is the same as George R.R. Martin's, in that George R.R. Martin, if he has a part that he doesn't like, he doesn't, wipe that part out and then just, start over. He fucking wipes the whole fucking chapter or whatever and starts over.
Yeah.
So he even he went and met George R.R. Martin and all that stuff, and he's like, yeah, we're incredibly alike, our same writing styles. He's apologized multiple times that he's worked on his last. He banged out the second book in 4 or 5 years, and then here it is, fucking 8 years later, and we're still waiting on this.
Well, these books are so
third book.
Yeah, these books are
4 or 5 years.
Are rather thick. Like I said, the Audible version for the first book is 28 hours long. And Hockenberry, I will actually send you this book on the 1st so you can listen to it.
Oh, well, I was looking for a new book anyway, so I'll just go ahead and get one.
It's stellar.
The Name of the Wind. The Name of the Wind. And it's a pretty amazing book. And then we'll go ahead and get your overview on what you think about it. So he's at the college. He's trying to get in. The headmaster. He has to meet with the headmasters.
Right.
And you got to remember, this man is penniless.
Man. Well, I mean, after what he went through, I'd give him the title.
Yeah.
Shit.
Also, the time and what have you.
True.
So
he's young. He's 14, I'd say.
But what does he go there with?
Nothing.
No. A name.
Well, so he does name drop Bernard, which is the previous traveling companion that had attended this college.
Who was in high esteem from one of the headmasters.
Correct. So they decided, because originally half of these folks are, kind of ambivalent, or some are kind of like, oh, he's young, this is going to be interesting. And the other half are just kind of scurrilous, assholes, because, that's how nobility was.
Yeah.
He's like, you're not old enough, smart enough, rich enough to be here, get the fuck out. So he says, you know what? I'll prove you wrong. And you know how badly I'm going to prove you wrong? Not only am I not going to pay for this fucking school, you're going to pay me. And they do. because they subject him to a battery of questions, each, from the department heads of, their particular science, what have you, and he blows them away. And he does it all. So there's even a question about some obscure currency exchange, and he does it like in his head instantly. Well, and he's like, and he gives two answers as well, and he's like, well, if they're straight with you, it'll be XYZ.
Yeah, and
if they're crooked, which is far more likely,
and this is what you're
actually going to end up. Yeah, and it made the guy laugh. He's like, fuck it, you're in.
Yeah,
and so the last one, the guy asked him, how do you make an ever-burning lamp? And that's the only one he kind of like shit his pants on. He's like, fuck, I don't know. I'm 14, leave me alone.
It was,
but he does give a bunch of possible answers, and the guy goes, you know what, I tried that one, I tried that one, I tried that one. They didn't work, but those are fucking amazing answers.
Yeah.
And you've never made one of these.
Well, and what he did was, it was a wager.
Yeah.
It was a wager that he made of, I will not try, because it was either get in or that was it.
Yeah.
And there was his one shot, so he made the wager of, you're going to do this for me, and if not, then, he's SOL for the rest of his life from this college.
Well, from the college. But the thing is, too, is that he was also he could essentially memorize anything moments after he'd been exposed to it. He was an amazing musician,
which is how he made most of his money. What's a photographic memory? Eidetic. So he had an eidetic memory. And
pretty close.
There was another book. A character had an eidetic memory, and everybody was like, it was the Surviving the Dead series. Gabriel has an eidetic memory, and everybody's like, oh, that's great. And he was like, oh, no, you think it's great?
That's awful.
Imagine remembering when you got blown up by a grenade and your guts are spilling out, and you can feel everything in clarity. Imagine when your mother dies, and that sadness, and you remember it
doesn't fade.
In clarity.
Yeah.
Because those memories don't fade. You just
on a weird side note, I actually just read a paper on how eidetic memory actually doesn't exist.
A full eidetic memory.
Yeah, there's no such thing as a perfect.
Yeah.
And it only really truly occurs within a very small age range in kids.
Oh, yeah.
It's between like the ages of 6 and 8. It's really weird. But all that to say, so he ends up blowing these guys away. He attends this school. There's this whole saga.
We're on like chapter fucking 5, so let's go ahead and power through.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. So there's this whole saga about him attending the school, enduring the bullshit riffraff of other people that try to fuck with him, and he ends up fucking them over because he's 10 times smarter than everyone else there.
And this is to explain how he became so powerful without graduating from
He never did graduate. That's
and
true.
That's what this first book is about.
Yeah. So we
don't want to give away too much of the college story.
There is one portion. So again, most of this other stuff can be attributed to a form of alchemy. The portion that I would call magic is from one of the teachers who was not on that panel, who's kind of insane. Crazy.
Oh, yeah.
He's not evil or anything like that. He's just very kind of weird. His brain's kind of broken.
He's the one that takes
elusive.
He's the one that takes care of the ones that use their sympathy to
a very specific and very rare extent.
Well, no, it was, they use their sympathy, and they end up going insane from trying to learn more than what they can handle.
Right.
And when they learn this, they end up breaking. So it's kind of not a taboo, but it's something
it's just more dangerous than it's worth sometimes.
Yeah, they warn kids away from
they're trying to juggle lava, essentially.
Yeah, they're just like, hey, look, this is a path. We're not saying that you can't take it. It's just that's where you're probably going to end
yes
up.
And no. So, not that they can't take it, but the teacher gets to choose whether or not he takes you on as a pupil.
Yeah.
The thing is that this teacher has no pupils because he says fuck no to everyone because like the last 6 people have either gone nuts and they do have them locked up inside the school or straight up killed themselves.
That and the ones that try to do it on their own because remember, this is an entire ward.
Yeah. So this guy, he even takes it. One of them took a flying leap. Oh, yeah. So that's where the title of the book comes from, The Name of the Wind.
Yeah.
So this guy is a master in naming. He knows the names of things. and that provides him mastery over those things. It's
and
pretty rad.
If you were listening to the podcast, in The Alchemist, the young adventurer or young shepherd learns the name of the wind in order to get away from...
He does a couple of things with it.
Oh, no, this is in The Alchemist. The shepherd
oh.
learns the name of the wind in order to get out of getting this gold stolen from him. And but yeah, so that it reminds.
There's a convergence there. Interesting.
Yeah. So but go on. So the name of the wind.
But there are so many parts that are just. I know I'm not doing it justice, but I've bought like 7 copies of this book because I'm one of those people. Again, if you're like, hey, I need a book, I swear to God, I will buy you a copy of this book and be like, just tell me how you like it, and then let's talk about it because I love it.
I do the same thing. Hockenberry, how many books would you say that I felt that you should have listened to, and I would just send you just so you could listen to them?
Oh, probably 4 at least.
Yeah. There's been a couple of them, and this is because they're books that I enjoy, things that I take out of the books.
Yeah,
and
who doesn't love sharing their passions?
Well, yeah, no, it's something that it's not a genre. That he is or that Hockenberry, and he can tell you, is genres that he really doesn't delve into.
Huh.
So,
what's your preferred genre?
Anymore, it's kind of changing. He's been bringing me around to the fantasy world a little bit, but before that, everything that I read was history related or like Tom Clancy kind of thriller, spy related novels. Everything pretty much up to that point.
So dramas and stuff like that.
Yeah, all those things, and then he started introducing me to the fantasy world. I'm like, I gotta say, I do enjoy it.
And that's not to say, much like any genre, there's plenty of crap. There's some really, really, really good shit.
The lit RPG genre, which I stumbled upon myself.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't looking for a lit RPG. Because I was looking for just comedy books, kind of like light humor that were fantasy, and I came across Critical Failure, which is a Dungeons and Dragons knockoff, and that was a tabletop RPG. So
you mean like Caves and Lizards?
Yeah. So it was Caverns and Creatures. They go through
Caverns and Creatures. That's awesome.
Yeah, and
I was this close.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So the Dungeons and Dragons knockoff, and they get sucked into the world. So I was looking for series like that, and I couldn't find really too much. And then I learned that it's called lit RPG.
Yeah.
Because it's people that get sucked into video games or video games, tabletop games, whatever. Yeah. So I found one, and it was what was the first series for the lit RPG? It was Super Sale and Superheroes, or.
Well, for me, it was a 2-week curse.
For you, it was a 2-week curse. That wasn't the first one I got you hooked on, was it, Hockenberry?
I know that the 2-week curse was by far my favorite that you sent me.
Yeah.
But I do not...
For story.
No. It was, the first introduction into the fantasy, although it might have bordered on sci-fi, was the Sylvian Newell series.
Wait, which one?
The Sylvian Newell series. That's the author. The books were
Sylvian Newell?
The alien robots.
Oh my God! I completely forgot about that shit.
Yeah, what was that
Archimedes Effect? No, not the Archimedes Effect. That's a completely different series. Oh my God! I can't remember.
Take your time.
Waking Gods.
Waking Gods. Holy shit.
Waking Giants, something like that. Yeah, that was the first one.
Sleeping Giants.
The first lit RPG of sorts.
That's straight sci-fi. Oh my God! All right, so we're gonna delve into this in about 2 seconds. So, Name of the Wind. What is something that you took away from the book?
Well,
that affected you in some way.
In that, whenever you come across a story, or at least I do, either in book form or a movie or a TV show or whatever multimedia version you find something you like on, if I enjoy it enough, if it's something that I end up liking, it's because I find qualities about a character that I want to emulate, that I want to identify myself with. There's a reason I love House, the TV show, because he's incredibly brilliant. but he's also an asshole. But people can't really fuck with him because he's usually right.
What was it that you took
so
away?
That's what I'm saying. So kind of the same concept here in that he is so talented. He's so driven that regardless of, whatever obstacles or bullshit or, he does screw up, he makes mistakes, he's human. It's not one of those stories where he's just some kind of godlike wonderkin who does no wrong. No, he fucks up plenty.
A lot.
Which he ends up getting kicked out of the school. It's a great story. Even to the point where there's so much depth. There's this girl that he's kind of going after during all of this, and that's a lot of the contention too, but it's this very flirty kind of love interest, and he's, at one point, just kind of a joke. He says, there's something that we learned that, there's 7 words that will ensorcel any woman. And she's like, what are they? He's like, it's different for every woman. At the end of the book, of the second book, there's a part where she's choking. Like, just, she has a lot of health issues or what have you. She's choking or whatever.
And this is the second book, not the first.
Second book, correct. But it just speaks to his character where he says, I need you to breathe for me. He whispers that in her ear.
And those were the 7 words.
And he makes her breathe again via the name of the wind. How fucking cool is that?
What I liked about the book, what I took away from it, and this is something that I believe in, is if you put in enough work, if you put in enough effort, then you will get what you want. Nothing needs to be given to you.
But it doesn't hurt to fucking be 2 steps ahead of everyone.
Well, yeah. So that's what I took away from the book.
Yeah, don't just wait for the challenges to come to you.
He doesn't
Anticipate
give up.
them.
He doesn't give up, and he goes through some shit. He goes through a lot of shit in order to get to where he ends up, and he makes mistakes along the way. But what I liked about it is that he does it. He has the drive. He has the motivation, and he continues to work towards his goal.
And the gods give him talent.
A little bit of talent there.
He got graced with the eidetic memory kind of thing.
Yeah, it's a lot of drive though.
He also has an alara of Ramston
because
Steel.
it doesn't say that he has eidetic memory.
No. It's proven. It's proven time and time again.
Well, it's assumed that that's what he has going on. Yeah. But I mean, you don't need to have eidetic memory.
You know what?
He had drive.
They even talk about the traveling alchemist when he's a kid. He overhears a conversation with his parents, and they even talk about it. It's like, this kid's brilliant.
Yeah,
it's so good.
Yeah, but it's not just not what I took away from it. Wasn't his brilliance or what how he had it because he was intelligent. It's he worked towards it. He went through all these trials.
There's plenty of brilliant people who end up being pieces of shit.
All this going on in his life.
Yeah,
but he powered through all of it in order to succeed.
He has a goal.
Yeah, and he worked very hard to it.
And there's a reason why he goes through all this.
Well, that's
because of his family.
Yeah, that's why I took something away from this book, is because I believe in that so much, and I emulate that in my life, or try to emulate it in my life.
Not to emulate, because his family.
Not emulate.
Yeah.
Emulate. But to put in the effort, and you're gonna hear there's certain friends of mine that sit on a different view of the world than I do, and they tell me constantly it's even with hard work you won't always succeed. And it's like, yeah, maybe not.
What's that old cliche saying? Aim for the stars, you'll at least hit the moon. Yada yada.
Aim for the moon, and if you miss, you'll land among the stars.
Well,
but
there you go.
Even if you fail, doesn't mean you have to stop. You could try again. You can continue trying until you succeed. I mean, the only one that actually labels you as a failure would be you if you give up, in my mind. And that's what I took away from this book, is he's seen a goal, he worked towards the goal, and every trial that got in his way, he pushed past in order to become a man that he is, a powerful man.
In the capital P version of power.
Yeah, so that's what I took away from the book. We have Clinton Hockenberry still on the line here, and we're talking about Sleeping Giants, which is a book series which, if you get a chance to read or listen to, it is
it well written?
Amazing. Every literary. Clinton, what would you say about the book?
It's no 2-week curse.
No.
Thank God.
No.
The story, the world, amazeballs. The writing's bad.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. And on that,
I'm like, where's the punctuation, you piece of shit? Where's your editor? I want to kick him in the nuts.
Quick side note: that author has another series that I started now.
Oh yeah.
It's even worse.
Wow.
Once again, the theory is really good. He doesn't actually describe anything.
Oh,
when something gets
he's
blown
the opposite of Tolkien.
Yeah.
Yeah. He doesn't take enough time to go into any details, and he repeats words almost every other sentence, which gets really annoying.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was your original complaint on the 2-week curse.
Yeah, because it's true.
It's the same guy. Of course he fucked it up again.
It was, well, I had Bradley check out the 2-week curse, and he was sitting there, and he had the same complaints you did about the whole, like,
this man's illiterate.
Yeah. And it was just like the descriptives and all this, and I was like, but the story.
Yeah, it's an amazing world. I just wish somebody else had wrote it.
I absolutely love this series, and I say this trying to be as nice as possible. I absolutely hate the author.
That's just we're getting so far.
If I could hit him with my car, I'd reverse to make sure it was done right.
All right, so we're going to continue this here in a bit, but I want to go ahead and go back to the beer we're drinking, which is Phantom Bride, Deftones Phantom Bride by Belching Beaver.
Which doesn't come up with too many weird images on Google.
Surprisingly.
Yeah, he looked.
I looked. But, so...
Belching Beaver. Man, that's a weird word for queef.
Out of 10, what would you give this?
I actually kind of like it. I might even order it. I'd give it a 6.5.
I'll match. I'll match with the 6.5.
Because it's not a true IPA.
Yeah, it has so many flavors in it. You could definitely call it.
It's like you had melted down a bouquet of beautiful flowers and then added alcohol to it.
It seems like it'd be more of a pilsner.
It's
very IPA. It is very IPA, but it seems like it could probably tiptoe its way into the
It's rated highly on Beer Advocate.
BeerAdvocate.com, again, not sponsored by.
Yeah. So it has a 7.1 ABV. It got a out of 5 amongst the ratings given by individual folks of 4.07 out of 5.
Which is pretty good.
Yeah, out of 10, I think it was a 9. No, I actually have to... Yeah, out of 100, it got a 90, so same difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, rated really highly.
7.1
ABV.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's on the higher scale.
Yeah, so it's above your average American beer, which is, again, as we always mention, somewhere between 3 and 5.5%.
Yeah. It's a pretty good beer. So we got 6.5 across the board. Great beer. I would definitely drink this while reading a book.
Yep, absolutely would.
Definitely do.
Yeah.
Which is so being hilarious. We were supposed to do one book that he enjoyed, one book that I love, but I think we both agree that The Name of the Wind is definitely a book that you should listen to. And if you do, go onto our Facebook. Yeah, go onto our Facebook or listen to it.
If you're interested in it, no joke, I'll straight up buy you a copy.
Not for everybody. We got 81 followers on Facebook.
All right, 3 of you who comment, I want a copy first.
Yeah,
I will buy you a copy and mail it to you.
Yeah, and Huckleberry, I'll send you one. I'll send you one on the first if you don't want to get one soon.
Oh, don't worry about it, bro. While you were talking, I already downloaded it.
No joke. I don't know. Find me on Facebook, Clinton. Just tell me what you think of it.
Well, yeah, we're on. No, he's not on Facebook. So, like I said, if you
carrier pigeon,
the same thing on the podcast is if you decide to listen to the book or read the book, comment on our Instagram or DM us on the Instagram.
Yeah, tell us what your preference is.
Message us on the Twitter at EAG_hyena. Message us on Facebook or post it on Facebook that you decided to read the book.
Facebook.com/Hyenas_den.
That's HYENAS_DEN.
Yeah, buddy.
And just let us know what you think about it, or comment down below just let us know what you think about the books. What do you think about our selections? We're going to go ahead and continue with the series for a while, I think, because there's a lot of books and there's a lot of what you can take out of it. And if you get anything out of The Name of the Wind,
tell me about it, because I'm not kidding you. I had an emotional attachment to this book.
Oh yes, and
the good ones will do that.
Oh, definitely. Well, yeah, there's a couple of books that'll make you tear up.
But Where the Red Fern Grows.
Yeah, like I said, that's something that stuck out to me,
cracked.
and I want to see what sticks out to you. It's not only that; it's this character's connection, badassery all the way, but his connections to his emotions and the way he's able to openly display them and without shame.
Yeah, because
is something that definitely
you're powerful in that. People who guard or reserve their emotions are typically afraid of whatever kind of outside influence or outside criticism or opinion is going to come their way.
Yeah.
Somebody who's fully capable of, displaying whatever emotion they feel like at that fucking time, and doesn't worry about it, that's a scary dude. Like, I wouldn't fuck with that guy. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's part of being alpha male is
you're strong and you don't care who knows it.
Well, you own you,
yeah.
and no matter what it be, is you are who you are, and you own that. Well, what's your thoughts on alpha male-ism, Clinton?
As far as emotions go?
Just as far as alpha male in general, whether it be emotions, displays of emotions, or toxic masculinity. Well, what do you think about alpha? The title of alpha male?
Yeah, that whole bullshit where hey, boys don't cry. Fuck that.
Yeah, and you have to remember that Mr. Hockenberry here has served with me in the infantry at Fort Irwin, and he's been to a couple other bases on his own. So, what's your views on alpha male-ism?
There's definitely the stigmatism surrounding.
Definitely a stigma. Yeah.
Yeah, stigma, not stigmatism.
I mean, you could have stigmatism.
There's no eye twitches or anything. Definitely surrounding alpha males, but I don't think that what people perceive as alpha males makes you an alpha male. A lot of times people that think of alpha males think of the textbook, I don't know what to do, so I'm just going to shout at everything and puff my chest out.
Well, that's
not alpha.
Let me ask you this. What does alpha male mean to you as a man that quite literally remodeled his entire house to the point where he tore it down to fucking damn near foundations and built from ground up? As a man that served in the infantry for, 8 years?
7.
7, 8 years. Served in the infantry, has 3 kids and a beautiful wife. What does alpha male mean to you?
It's pretty much what you're saying. You know who you are, and you just own that.
Now what I'm saying, I want you to say it in your own words.
Those are my own words. You know who you
stole
are.
Them, damn it.
And you just own
Good job, Leo.
Yeah, well,
to me, like, it really does just... It's your level of self-confidence. You can walk into a room and not have to worry about anybody else.
who you are.
Yeah. Do you have enough self-fortitude to...
My question is...
not be subservient.
Do you think a alpha male reacts to... benign words? Words of offense. Which would be simple as, I can kick your ass. Do you think that an alpha male reacts to that?
No.
Again, because they're confident enough to know that...
should not, yeah. You know, if someone tells me they can kick my ass, 95% of the time, I know within 10 seconds whether or not they're correct.
And so that's an absolutely honest answer in that. An alpha male isn't necessarily always going to be the brick wall in the room. They're not the biggest, strongest, fastest, most lethal guy in the place. He can be, sure as shit.
Yeah.
But it's the self-confidence or the self-realization that either internally you're thinking, fuck that, I could whoop your ass, or I can't, and it would be stupid to fucking pursue this. But you're not necessarily going to let yourself be intimidated, but you're also not going to force the issue.
Well, I got a thing that I want to throw past both you guys. Would you say an alpha male is a man that knows his limits, tests his limits, pushes his limits, but is respectful to everyone he comes across?
Well, I was going to say the only way to really know your limits is if you have tested them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
but
yes.
you continue. It's not just to test them. It's to continue testing.
To progress.
What's your thoughts on that, Hockenberry?
Going back, it's a good example of the guy saying he's going to kick your ass. Once again, I know, let's say that he can. First of all, in my opinion, the highest mark, you have to be honest with yourself. So if he can't kick your ass, you just say, yeah, you definitely can.
And?
Try to diffuse the situation. But if he continues to push, then no matter what,
yep,
you do push back. I mean, you don't sit there and take it like a little bitch, but at the same time, you don't
like I
go
mentioned
out
earlier,
seeking this.
Language.
Yeah, I was going to say, you are self-confident, but you're also not subservient. Which means that you're not necessarily going to bow to whatever will is forced upon you. But again, yeah, it's to me, it's the sign of a brittle personality who barks at anybody who barks at him first. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
and half the time they're just trying to
make themselves feel better at the expense
puff their chests up. Yeah, make themselves feel better and try to intimidate their way out of things.
Yeah, that's why.
Which I don't know if you've ever noticed, but the smallest guy in the room always has the biggest mouth.
Well, hold on, guy.
We struck a nerve.
I want to let you know here, as me being normally the smallest guy in the room, maybe not even height-wise, but just physical stature.
He does weigh $115 soaking wet.
Or roughly, yeah.
$130.
Luckily, with a brick in each pocket. So, as the smallest guy in the room, and as both of these fine men can detest, I have
I find it detestable.
I have quite a bit of bark in me. Am I wrong?
Oh no, you can bark for days.
I did once find you gnawing on a tree, but you were drunk, so quite a bit of bark.
But as they can also detest, I will definitely stand my ground, whether it be a win or lose fight. I can know that I'll lose a fight, but if I know I got myself into the situation, I will stand my ground, and I'll take that ass whooping.
I'll push back a little bit on that in that I don't know if 100% of stubbornness is the sign of
that's
dominance or alpha male.
No, that's not dominance.
Being
or
stubborn
alpha
is just more
maleness.
annoying than anything
I'm just saying, for the whole fucking smallest guy in the room having the loudest bark is, I mean, definitely fucking. I do got a lot of bark in me, but I mean, I'll stand my ground. I won't back down. If I get myself into a sticky situation,
how about this?
I'll hold that.
As a sign of being an alpha, if you were to state an opinion and then find that opinion is false, will you then admit, shit.
Fucking definitely.
Yeah, okay.
Definitely.
Definitely. Yeah, I'm the first one to be like, fuck, I don't know. Yeah. I could totally be wrong.
But if I know I'm right,
yeah,
and that guy says he's wrong, or it doesn't say that he's wrong, and I know for 110% fact that he is wrong, I'll fight that shit. Whether I know I'll win or lose in a physical fight, I'll fight that shit.
It doesn't have to do so much with the fighting, I think. It's just being honest with yourself. Because, I mean...
Correct. It's more internal than external.
That's when I'm drinking.
If you know that dude's going to whip your ass, and you are a completely white-collar man, you sit at a keyboard all day, and you run away, but you own that shit. You know that you ran away. You tell everyone, yeah, I ran the fuck away. He would have killed me.
Sure.
I mean, that to me, that's an alpha personality.
Hold on. So, if he gets himself into the sticky situation, he's the one that initiates said fight.
No. We're saying
No,
I wasn't saying he was the aggressor.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It is me, as I'm normally the aggressor. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong.
So, normally, I'd be the aggressor. As the smaller guy, I'd be the aggressor in the situation. Mom,
so you're saying you usually start shit?
I stand for what I believe in, and 110%. And now, if
he's a politician or something.
Now, if... Well, hold on. We're coming into the primary, so... This is my political
answer. No, I'm not
answer.
deviating into politics tonight. I don't feel good. I'm going to go sleep.
This is my political answer to this inquiry, as it were, would be if me as a smaller man and I get myself into a situation, or I'll stand for what I believe in, and if they want to come at me sideways, then I'm going to tell them they're wrong. Again, that's me when I'm drinking. Me, if I have a beer or two, like this is me 12 beers in, then I'll go to the fight. But if I'm, just casually drinking like I normally do, and it's not like a crazy night, then I'll just be like, yeah, okay, you're right. And I'll walk away.
Because you have better things to do, and you don't need to prove shit.
Well, because I'm sober, and I know that...
Yeah, we're not talking about drunk or essentially, at that point, inebriation will cause you to...
Well, that's what I'm saying, is alpha male-ism, I think my co-host here can agree, would be the ability to let somebody be wrong, even after they've been presented the facts.
It happens every day.
What do you think, Clockenberry?
Yeah, plenty of people who've come up to me, and I tell them that they are wrong, but they refuse to see things any other way than theirs. So let them go, man. I don't care. You can go on thinking the world is flat.
That's a wow. Now that's a perfect analogy. It doesn't affect you in a long-lasting way at all, and it's not. You don't have to fucking sit there and fight them over. There is no internet troll on Earth who is an alpha. There just isn't. Doesn't work that way.
Oh God, no. So that being said, and I agree with that 99.9%. That's
as good as W. I'll take it.
Yeah, well, that's definitely. This is like the unicorn of whatever's. There is this, I want to say an MMA fighter, I forget who it is, but they decided after so much crap they get, this is a pro fighter, successful businessman, very intelligent individual, decided to troll the people that were trolling him. I'm talking about like he would follow them and comment on their benign everyday life, follow them just to comment on their benign everyday lives, trolling them. And when interviewed about it, he was just like, "Oh, I have the time, I have the money, I don't care."
Yeah, but again, to me,
these people are going to come at me sideways either way, and I'm sick of it. So this is what I'm doing to a couple of them.
And here's kind of the thing too: there are no absolutes.
Well, he knows that he's giving them fame.
Well, what I'm saying is that nobody's alpha 100% of the time, alpha male 100% of the time. There just isn't. So, but those actions to me do not strike me as those belonging to an alpha male.
Have you met?
Just because you agree with it or you found it humorous or something like that does not mean that behavior.
A Navy SEAL or a Delta operator, I do believe they are the 1% of the 1% of the 1%. I do believe that they may be.
I guarantee you, none of them are fucking internet trolls. They have better shit to do.
Yeah. But I'm saying, like, let them. Because you said you can guarantee nobody. I'm like, well, maybe. There might be some unicorns among that community. What are your thoughts, Clinton?
I don't believe that your job or your abilities make you an alpha male. I believe your personality makes you an alpha male.
Exactly.
So,
well, yeah.
Just
it's more internal than external.
Someone may be Delta as fuck. They may be high speed as hell. But if they let the little things get to them and snap at everybody, and they're not a silent professional, they want everybody to know what
well, that's why I'm not saying special forces.
That's a great phrase. The silent professional.
Yeah.
There you go. And that doesn't necessarily. You don't have to be an operator as fuck kind of guy.
No.
To have that silent professional.
It falls back to
moniker
you know what you
applying
can do, and you don't have to force that on other people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's maintaining a strong will, regardless of outside external forces.
So the second half of this video is actually going to become the podcast for this week. For I believe that
secondary podcast.
There is a lot. Well, we have 2 podcasts going out. One Monday, which is Motivational Monday, and this is going to be. This will probably be a motivational Monday. This will probably be our Thursday because the entire thing with the podcast is we're building our community. We have a community, and hyenas are
it's a small village.
Are seen as scavengers, as creatures that take advantage of opportunities that become. Because that's what they do. Is we at Hyenas Den, we see an opportunity and we take it. Now, if we see somebody creating an opportunity that we can take advantage of, we're definitely going to take advantage of that opportunity because we succeed in what we do. I heard that our videos are a bit long and they run a bit long, and the best thing we could do is a podcast. So I delved into it because that's an opportunity that was presented to me.
Well, no, you took
a career that I'm looking
constructive criticism.
Well,
and you advanced on it, or you took it to heart and then implemented it.
Yeah.
Well, that's alpha as fuck.
Another thing is for the career transfer I'm going to, the career I'm going into requires a lot of social engineering. And for those of you that don't know what social engineering is when you have to not read people, but you play off of other people.
The dynamics of the group.
Yeah, it's you mold yourself to be what they want, and you conform them to what you believe.
Correct.
And as an alpha male, what I do is I don't form myself, but I say this is who I am, and this is what you are looking for. You didn't know it until I walked into the room.
You know what? And this might be a controversial statement, just because I'm thinking of it right now. Because I've never referred to myself as alpha male or what have you. Would it be weird to say that anybody who is truly alpha would never say those words?
That is not true because no. So
they just find that it applies to them.
Well, I think because before I joined the army, and I don't know if this is true for Hockenberry. Hockenberry always seems like he might have been. Before I joined the infantry, I was a leader, but I was not an alpha male. I had people would follow me, but I would defer any chance I got because I didn't like a leadership role. I joined the infantry and I got into the airborne, and people just kept telling me that, no, you're 1% of 1%. And then I got into the airborne and they're like, you're 1% of 1% of 1%. You're the best. And that just kind of, when you get...
Jesus, what does that make Delta? 1% of 1% of 1%.
Gods.
I'm not even that... My math is pretty good.
They're seen as gods. But that's what they build in you, because the infantry is 1% of the army. Airborne is 1% of the infantry. Special forces is 1% of that. So every level that you get when
Ladies and gentlemen, we've introduced decimals into our...
Well, no, every time you hear that is, hey, look, you're 1%. You've joined the army. You're 1% of the U.S. population, which is true, and that's an actual number that you could draw upon. And then you join the infantry, and it's like you're 1% of the army. So now you're 1% of 1%, and you get the alphaness, and they keep telling you, and it builds in you, and that is something that it changes your mindset. And it's not just them telling you this. It was, for me personally, I got not mistreated. I was in the infantry. I was in combat arms. They laid hands on me. I was forced to fight other men. And that's when I learned that, not being able to be knocked out is not a fucking good thing in life. When somebody hits you in the face and you don't stay down, you're just like, well, shit, this is continuing. You're like, well, if he would have knocked me out, this fight would be over. But that's what kind of instilled in me from being a beta male into an alpha male, was not only being told it, but being tested and forced into a situation that kind of just instilled it. And Hockenberry, like I said, to me, seems like he was always an alpha male. Is that true, though, Hockenberry?
On this, I'm going to have to disagree with you slightly.
How so?
So, yes. Yes, on some accounts. You are the 1% of the 1% of the 1%. Agreed. But that doesn't necessarily make you an alpha male. Once again, that's your skill set.
Oh, no. That's not what I was saying. I was saying that being told that changes your mindset from being
can change your mindset.
Oh, yeah, it has the ability to change your mindset.
Because some people still turn out to be fucking idiots.
Yeah. So it has the ability to change you from...
I agree with that, but it's all... For me, alpha male is all internal, and then those are external forces telling you, trying to... I mean, let's not lie. The Army tries to brainwash you. They want you
that's
to
their
believe.
entire job.
Definitely.
They break you down to your foundation because, I mean, they have a reason to do that is because they want to mold you shape you in a particular way.
That's what I was saying was I went in as, yes, a leader, but as a beta male. I mean, I did not seek spotlight. I did not seek leadership. I ended up fucking miraculously in a position that I did not like at all, with people being like, well, what do we do?
But it ended up altering you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, is in the infantry,
it had an effect.
This being told this, being put through these physical trials, being tested.
You went through a crucible.
Changed my mindset from being a beta male into a, want to know what? Yeah, I am awesome. I am me, and I don't need to change that. I don't need to defer to anybody unless I know that they know better than I know.
Okay, so you're saying that the Army helped you realize that you wanted to be an alpha male, or that you needed to change?
That I had the ability.
Okay.
That I had the ability.
I can get behind that. Okay.
Yeah, but I was asking more to when you joined the Army, the military. Did you know that you were? Do you see yourself as an alpha male? I'm trying to word this properly.
Did you see yourself? Before you joined the
right now,
Army.
As you look back upon yourself, do you see yourself as an alpha male back then?
Yes and no. I had good mental fortitude for the most part, and I did. I mean, if I said something, I stuck to it. I was honest with myself always. I was making stupid decisions before I joined the Army, obviously, like pretty much everybody else.
Yeah. You were a kid, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I was honest with myself for making those stupid decisions. And everybody has their different attributes. Mine, I am by far not even close to the smartest person in the world, but I am more intellectual than the general population. Not saying that to brag, I'm just saying that once again, I'm being honest with myself.
It turns out that common sense just isn't that common.
Did you do you attribute any of this just cornbread, gentlemanness to where you were raised?
Oh yeah, it's all how I was raised and the work ethic that was instilled in me.
Do you want to mention what state you were raised in, or no?
Sure. I was raised in Pennsylvania, and I was raised in a Christian family, brought up right. I was working on my godfather's dairy farm from the time I was like 6. Well, I say working in quotes. I was helping out.
Are you
by
Dutch
the time
by
I was
chance?
6. What's that?
Are you Dutch?
Wow.
Far back.
Look at me. I pulled that shit.
He looked at me. I was like,
he looked at me like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm like, hey, I know things.
That's some white shit right there. But so definitely, because not so much the where or how, but just all that accumulated into making you the man that you are, or the man that you were back then.
I was very lucky and had a lot of solid alpha males in my life.
Well,
they brought me up correct.
Well, what I want to delve into is after we go ahead and hear from Bradley, I want to let you know both my thought that I have going on here, and I just want to see if it doubles up with what he's saying. So let's hear from Bradley. you were a boxer back in the day. You grew up in... Do you mind if I say where you grew up?
I don't care.
So, Massachusetts?
Man, so wrong.
Oh, Jesus.
So, I mean, I grew up...
Missouri!
Yeah.
God damn it, Missouri.
There you go.
So, grew up in Missouri, which is also, more center of the country, more country area.
No, it's the... If you look at a map of the United States, that is the exact fucking middle. That is the Midwest of the Midwest. That's the 1% of the 1%.
American Gods.
Yeah, what about it?
They tell you where the center of America is by mileage.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay, so go on. Missouri.
I don't remember that much. Neil Gaiman is an amazing author, by the way.
Yeah.
Tying into our books. Anyway,
that'll be the next episode. And Hockenberry, can we get you on the next episode for American Gods?
Yeah, sure.
Disco Mike. Alrighty, so.
It kind of, I mean, it was perfect that you had mentioned that, the fact that you were surrounded by a lot of alpha male personalities, whereas, and I'm sitting here while you guys are answering, I'm trying to think, I'm like, what the fuck? I was not. So my mom and dad had separated, years. I think they finalized their divorce finally when I was like 9. But they hadn't been together for a long time since. I mean, I would see my father on weekends, and he was absolutely an alpha male personality. But to the degree that he got whatever he wanted by busting ass and doing it and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But he was also kind of an asshole. So there were a lot of personality traits within him that would detract from that what we would consider the paragon of a alpha male personality. What should be. But yeah, so I mean, I have my brother who's 13 years older than me, so he's essentially who I've kind of molded a lot of my personality on. I also have a little sister and my mom. But yeah, I didn't have a lot of strong alpha male figures to help raise me. So I will absolutely say unequivocally, growing up, absolutely not. Definite beta male in that I just kind of wanted to, be liked and wanted to be included and accepted. And so that's why I found myself like growing through my schooling years. And I grew up here in California.
Well, knowing you now as a very assertive, very, very alpha male type personality.
So I had my own different crucible.
When can you say that change happened?
So
what happened?
My dad passed away when I was 15. My mom ended up packing us up and moving us out to Missouri. She had family out there, and it was just something that, she needed that lifeline, essentially, to help us. We moved out we were 7 miles out of town, we were in the boonies, yada yada. So it ended up becoming a lot more in the way of self-reliance. I had to learn how to do shit, coming from here in Covina, 15, 20 miles out of LA, what I mean? Definite city boy. To learning how to figure to do shit out on my own, fix stuff, this, that, and the other. But at that point, I started getting the exposure to my grandfather, who was in the Carpenters Union. He grew up, he was born in Kansas and grew up in the Midwest, moved to El Monte, which is where my mom was born. And then moved back to Missouri, had an 80-acre ranch, 400 cattle, all this crazy shit. And then my Uncle Lance, who put me to work.
I have a quick question for you. Do you think being able to identify with a Midwest background affected your ability to change? With the city connotation of everybody sees the Midwest as...
it's something that I can express externally, but it's something that occurred internally, in that I started to accrue more confidence in myself because I now knew how to do things that most other people don't. So I became more mechanically inclined. I learned how to fix shit I became MacGyver, because out there isn't a fucking Home Depot every 3 blocks. You know what I mean?
So later in your life you met these alpha males.
Correct. But the real, I think the genuine crucible for me, where I finally, evolved or hardened or whatever, was at 18, I moved from Missouri to California on my own. I packed up my car, and it wasn't. And I always make sure to mention this too. It's not like I had any bad relationships with my family. Nothing at all. I absolutely love my mother. Dorothy Mantooth is a saint. Yes. And actually, she's gonna be coming down in a couple weeks.
I met his mother.
She's a sweetheart.
Well, you can. My mom's hospitality, my parents' hospitality is, and she is on the same level of if you need a place, you are in the area, and if you need a place, it doesn't matter how long you need, sweetie. You stay here as long as you need, and I'll take care of you.
See, and while that is absolutely essential to a positive upbringing, which it wasn't always. And she'll be the first one to tell you too. My mom got clean and sober when I was 10.
Back on track.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So it wasn't always that way.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
But
my mom just.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely back on track.
But all that to say that once I packed all my shit in my car, I drove 2,000 miles to California. I came back home. I started going to school. It really became my crucible was self-reliance. I had no one. I had no family out here.
Do you mind if I lighten it up a little, one step?
Sure.
You didn't become a waitress, did you?
No.
A waiter?
Okay. No.
Thank God.
I did do retail for a little bit.
Because a lot of from the Midwest come over here and they become your waitresses.
Yeah, but that's if they're trying to act. No, I didn't walk into a room and see a black leather couch.
So you moved over here all on your own. You had nothing going for you.
Yeah. So I crashed on a couch for the first 3 months, and then I found an apartment, and I was there for like 8 years. I had the 2 worst fucking roommates. I ended up paying rent by myself. I can't tell you how many times. I've had... This sounds like... Obviously, people have so much worse lives, but I mean, I can tell you... These
are first world problems.
For sure. But I mean, I'm telling you, there were straight up days when I didn't eat. Just to make sure bills got paid and shit like that.
But this is why I wanted to bring up in The Name of the Wind. The main character is very self-reliant, very built.
He had to be.
I do believe that's what you connected with.
Sure.
Is this character's ability to succeed on his own situation.
Mainly because he had to.
Situation difference. Well, no, I believe that, I mean, in the end, he would have done the same if he had to. Which is if he had to make the move. And I think that's what you identified with this character is the ability to put in the work for a goal that you seem necessary, that you wanted.
Yeah.
So you moved out here. You do all this.
The 2 scummiest fucking roommates.
And this is part of the crucible that's making you the alpha male.
Right, so I wasn't in the military. God knows I would have loved to, but they're like, your lungs are fucked.
Nah, we won't go into that story.
That's a bummer. Asthma. Woof. That's a bummer. The crucible for me is, I assume, seeing as how I'm not everyone, that everyone has their own.
Well, hold on.
Crucible,
I think what we're all looking for is when was your shifting point? When do you think was the
finalization was moving to California?
This is all moving up.
Yeah.
Well, no, because that's not even it. Because you were taking over for your roommates, and
that was the thing. I had to be self-reliant. I had to figure out my shit.
A couple of months, and instead of
that went on for years. I was in that apartment for 8 years.
So that wasn't even the shifting. That was at balance. You were starting to lean towards alpha maleism.
I couldn't pinpoint an exact breaking moment. That's why. So
when did you move away from them? What happened between you and your roommates?
I got rid of them.
So you kicked them out.
Yeah.
I think that would be the point of your shift. What do you think, Clinton? Do you think that was a shift when he...
It did take me a long time. So you know what? Maybe that's right, because that is a sign of... I took their shit forever. About 5 years. So maybe that was kind of the point where you're like, you know what? I've got a better paying job now. I can handle this shit on my own. My brother's wanting to come to California. I'd much rather he have that spare bedroom, and it's a 2-bedroom apartment. Y'all can get the fuck out.
Do you think that'd be the shifting point, Brad? Clinton?
Could have been, yeah.
I mean, you heard the whole story.
They were fucking
He's
awful.
Putting up with all this for 5 years, and then he gets himself into a position, and he kicks them out.
And the whole time, I'm trying to go to school. I'm working. All of this crazy shit.
So, when do you think that shifting point was?
I think it would have been before that. That may have been when he became more assertive.
There you go.
However, him taking care of his own shit as well as taking care of other people and staying focused and doing what he had to do, that, to me, is alpha male. So long before he kicked them out, he had his shit figured out and he knew what he was doing.
I like that. I'm not doing great.
And it's stupid, and obviously this is a benchmark for me that doesn't necessarily apply to anybody else because everyone's life is different. But a way that I kind of measure, and I know it's going to sound dumb, my bank account has never been negative.
Well,
which means it's been fucking close.
I think you can really quantify alpha male. It's one of those things where
that's what I'm saying. It's an evolution. A crucible works in that you put something in, you melt it down over time, you scrape the dross off the top, you keep whatever is fermented.
What I wanted what I was gonna say before I heard the stories, I thought that Mr. Bradley, since I met him, has always been, I've seen him as an alpha male personality. Now me. Never. So I was going to say, from the Midwest, the way that you're raised, the way that you interact out there, the people that you're around, is just naturally breeds alpha males. But I mean, that kind of just throws a wrench. And that's exactly what I was going to say.
There's plenty out there that I met that. And maybe this is another sign of alpha males or something like that. But I don't necessarily look down on people who aren't.
Well, you've seen me as before I joined the military, and cocky and full of myself.
I'm sorry, before the military?
Before the military.
What about after the military?
Oh, that but the difference, this is what I'm saying, is the difference is...
You now have reasons to back it up.
Not so much that. I was cocky and full of myself because, yes, I did, I was a protector. And I still see myself as somebody that is built, meant, and just molded by God to protect other people. And I see myself as a protector, so I thought, well, this is what I have to be. But anytime somebody came opposition with anything other than fighting, I was just like, oh, no, you're right, I'm wrong. And if it had to do with anything with emotions, I thought that it had to be suppressed. You do not show emotion at all unless you're drunk. And that was my belief beforehand.
I think that's more culture.
Well, that's not. Well, that's what I'm saying is city raised versus Western. Then that was going to be my statement earlier.
No, that's something that's still highly prevalent in the Midwest too. They still have a tendency to suppress emotion. And
clearly, I mean,
it's more culture than anything else. But that's a benefit of having grown up in my mother's household, in that she's like, don't ever let anybody fucking tell you.
Well, before I joined the military, I would never give my opinion on anything. I would never state anything as a fact, because I would not want to be proven wrong. So instead of trying to learn something by an opposition force,
that's good.
I would I'm not gonna respond. And if I learn something, I do learn something.
The ability to be proven wrong and accept it is an absolutely positive.
Instead of now,
excellent.
I will force something out there, knowing that I am probably wrong, just so somebody can learn me up.
Somebody can pipe up and say, hey, actually...
Yeah, they'll be like, well, actually, that's not true. This is wrong. And I'm like, oh, well, that's good to know.
No shit.
Thank you.
Huh.
And I'll walk away learning more information. But, I mean, that's the type of confidence I have now after, 8 years of just getting the shit chewed out of my ass. Is...
What an amazing visual that provides.
Yeah. Just dealing with all this, and I'm able to walk away. I'm able to walk in and just be like, okay, well, I'm not entirely sure this is right, but I do know if I state it as a fact, somebody's gonna come over here and either correct me or be like, that is a fact. That is a fact. And I like that. To me personally,
I hear a lot of beeping going on over there, Hockenberry. Are you defusing a bomb?
Yep.
No, that's
let me know I'm getting a little too close to the car.
Yeah. He's a truck driver. Oh my God. So to tell Hockenberry about this morning, what happened on the 10 freeway?
Well, this is what you told me. I thought there was just one. One's bad enough.
So
there were 6. Big rigs.
There was a pile up on the freeway, and normally you think pile up, you think a bunch of cars, maybe a rig or two. 6 rigs that I counted. There were probably more.
How?
6. I have no fucking clue.
I just want to know how.
6 rigs in a pile up. Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Is because there had to have been cars somewhere in there, because it was.
Oh, for sure.
On the fast lane, there was a rig, and it was jackknifed.
2 lanes over from where it should be,
and it was jackknifed into another rig, and the trailer was hit at a cocky ass angle. The rig in between that rig and the rig in front of it, the entire cabin was smashed.
Turned into an accordion.
Oh, it was just torn open. Like, I don't even know how it happened. It wasn't touching the trailer, but the entire fucking cabin was ripped open.
Jesus Christ.
It was like some shit from the fucking Hulk. I don't know if there was aliens there or not. I'm not saying. But there was...
Final Destination kind of stuff?
Even worse than that. But, nice guy. But, yeah, there was a 6 rig pile up on the 10 freeway today.
On the way to LA.
On the way
Which
to...
is bad.
No. It was on the way to
Wasn't
Riverside.
it westbound? Oh, it was eastbound.
It was eastbound.
Oh.
Eastbound, because I was heading westbound.
Thank God I headed south this morning.
Yeah.
I was headed to Corona.
Well, you would have been clear, because...
Yeah, I hopped on the 57 to the 71.
Yeah, this was, towards... Oh, Jesus Christ.
Before the 15, obviously. Like,
so
near Ontario?
Covina, West Covina...
Montclair, Upland, Montclair.
No, other way, west.
Oh, west?
West.
So you got...
City of Industry.
Yeah. Azusa, City of Industry, La Puente...
Azusa is north. No, that's north. I'm talking about the 10, not the 210.
Ah.
So City of Industry, I think, is the next city over. And that exit right there, it was just...
Banjaxed.
I'm telling you, 6 rigs. 6
That's
rigs
crazy.
that
I
I
counted.
counted. I don't know how many there were, but I counted 6 rigs on a fucking pile up, and that was. What do you think about that, Hockenberry?
That sucks.
That sucks.
I don't know what else to say to that. That's unfortunate.
What a clear, thorough.
Yeah, well, I mean, what are the rules? They're not. As far as I am tracking, you guys are not allowed on the fast lane.
You're allowed within the first 3 lanes.
Yeah, well, first 2 lanes.
I thought it was 3.
It's different for everywhere. Maybe California that says the first 3. Generally speaking, in Pennsylvania, when you open up the 3 lanes, you'll see a sign directly afterwards saying "No trucks, left lane."
Same thing in California.
Yeah, you're not allowed there. Though I see them sometimes, and I'm like, you fuck, get out.
Well, that's what I'm saying is in California, you see them hogging up all 4 lanes, and you're just like, come on!
Fucking move!
Oh, fuck is this Tetris type bullshit?
Yeah. Thankfully, I'm on the road between 3 and 5 a.m., so there's usually nobody alive.
Well, man, me and Bradley are lucky here. Hockenberry is driving. He does night runs down to, not Chicago.
Philly, bro.
Philly.
Long way from Chicago.
Philadelphia.
I don't even know why I always think.
Do you know what
Chicago,
Philadelphia
though.
means? The city of brotherly love.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were going to put sexual into it.
Oh, yeah. Philly's a bunch of assholes. They got great sandwiches, though.
Yeah, I mean, some people like... I don't like cities in general, but Pittsburgh. If I was going to live in a city, I would live in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's not bad.
Would you become a Steelers fan?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, but I would live in Pittsburgh.
Oh, okay. Philly cheesesteak, man. Sounds good.
I want to ask both of y'all, should we do an episode, podcast, or YouTube on... Me personally, I only have one... I have set teams for sports.
Yeah.
But how do you guys feel about sports? Are you guys the type of
I'm not into most sports.
Thank God.
I don't sports.
So we shouldn't. Okay.
I was gonna say. I mean, there are still 3. Oh, speaking of which, what's the day? Thursday. Tuesday. Yeah, 2 days ago, Tuesday. I was in LA, or actually, I was in Hollywood, and I saw Brett Favre. Yep. And he was driving an Audi, and you know what his license plate says? Favre 1. I'm like, you piece of shit.
I've seen that.
Is his brother Favre too?
What's that?
Is his brother Favre too?
I don't. Man, that'd be so funny if it was. But yeah, we're driving up the street as we're leaving a job site, and I see him driving down, going the other way, and I'm like, that's Brett Favre. And my coworker, he's fucking super sports guy. Like whenever we're carpooling, which is rare, he's always listening to some sports podcast, whatever the hell. And he's like, holy shit, that's Brett Favre. I'm like, I just fucking said that. So yeah. Anyway, but there are 3 teams that I do like. I'll watch.
Hold on. Who the fuck is Brett Favre?
Are you kidding me?
Not at all. I think he was on The Simpsons.
Quarterback for Green Bay. And then he left the NFL, and then he came back, and then he left, and then he came back,
Was he on
and
The
he did it like
Simpsons?
9 times. The Simpsons has been on for 30 years. Everyone's been on there.
If he was on The Simpsons, I know who he is.
Okay.
No, he's on that. He's on one of those commercials.
He did, yeah.
Shit! I know who you're talking about.
He does a Copper Fit, and he endorses some other shit that I can't think of right now. Copper Fit and something else.
Yeah, the socks, right?
Fuck, I don't know. Yeah, it's something else. Anyway, so I do follow the Lakers. I do like the Sharks.
Clippers, bro.
Wrong.
No.
Wrong.
Right.
They're better than the Lakers right now, but I'm just, as a legacy.
I was a Clippers fan since my old man worked on the Clippers Stadium.
Okay, see, that makes sense. Like if I don't fucking care about professional NFL, I'll watch a game, but I don't care who wins.
Raiders. It's a Raider Nation.
I would say the Chargers, because my dad, when I was young, would take me to a Chargers game in San Diego.
Always been a Raiders fan, grew up with their shirts on, and they are the most dedicated fans. No matter we win or lose, we will riot.
It's again, that's a culture. It's different. But then so Lakers, Sharks, and then I like college football. So I'm a big USC fan.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
What about you, Hockenberry? Please tell me, USC, college?
No, I'm gonna tell you straight up. Like I don't even pretend. I mean, I used to. I don't mind watching football games, or I don't really like basketball.
Usually because there's food involved, and beer.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I like the environment, and I'll watch a game. But I honestly, my dad likes the Eagles. I was brought up to like the Eagles, but I really don't care. I couldn't tell you a single player on the Eagles.
Not bad.
I don't care who wins. Basketball, I don't really care.
Hockey.
Baseball, I think, yes. Hockey, I do love hockey, but I do not follow hockey.
All right.
I cannot stand baseball.
All right, since we all agree on hockey here, Hockenberry, we're going to start with you. Favorite team and player, if you know the player, and then we're going to go to Bradley, and then we'll go to me.
Oh, God.
That's what I'm saying. I don't really follow it. I just enjoy watching it, but I used to like the Devils back in the day.
For hockey?
Hockey.
Yes.
I like the team. I don't care about players. I'm a big San Jose Sharks fan.
Fuck you.
What? How dare you? Sharks.
Could you guess my team then?
You're a Kings fan. How dare you?
Who's my favorite player?
No idea.
Jonathan motherfucking Quick. The best goddamn goalie in the NHL. This motherfucker.
You know what I've always wondered
the
about?
The master of the butterfly technique.
When it comes to goalies, I mean, I know this sounds weird, but couldn't you just hire a sumo wrestler to just squat and eat a ham sandwich the entire game?
No, because when they squat, right, then it opens up the fucking spot in between for the puck to fly through.
I'm saying get a bigger sumo wrestler then.
No, that's why I like...
You get what I'm saying. Just fuck the whole fucking thing.
Well, that's what Jonathan Quick with his butterfly technique, when he drops both the fucking pads together, which is why his knees are shot and why we're starting to fucking slip and we have to use our fucking secondary a lot more now. Alright, so I am not a sports fan at all. I like the Clippers because my dad got tickets and he used to take us to games. Hockey. My mother's always been a fan. Me personally, never been a fan of hockey until I got stranded in... I forget what fucking... I think it was in fucking Iraq. What country I got stranded in because of a fucking sandstorm. And
by Darude?
I don't fucking remember where. But Johnson, a guy that I got stranded with in this, just waiting to go back to our unit to fucking go back to Afghanistan, was all about hockey, and this was during the Stanley Cup fucking playoffs, and we watched he was a Kings fan, and we watched the Kings play every time that they played, then we were there, which was, I think, was like 3 games that we got stuck in this fucking sandstorm. I'm talking about a sandstorm that lasted fucking days. Like, you're like, I'm gonna go take a shower, and then you have to make sure you are 110% perfectly dry before you walk out, because the slightest moisture means you are going to be just as dirty, if not dirtier, than when you walk the fuck in.
Yeah.
So it was just fucking ridiculous, and so the only thing that we would travel out for is food, and to watch this stupid fucking game. And I went with him because he was my battle buddy. You know, I was like, fuck it. You know, I ain't doing shit else. So I fucking went everywhere he went. And so we go over there, we watch this, and he's talking about Kopitar and Kopitar's ability to just beat the shit out of damn near anybody on the fucking ice.
He's a goon?
Yeah. And I'm sitting there, and I love Kopitar, I love fighting, but I was like, but that goalie though, like these motherfuckers are shooting shot after shot after shot. But this goalie is just fucking doop, 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 doop. He's everywhere you want to be.
He's like Visa.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, you know, and what he does is he blocks the lower half and he uses his arms, the fucking paddings on his arms to up and down like a fucking butterfly. Like a butterfly. So I'm sitting there and I was like, holy shit, like, yeah, Kopitar's good, but this goalie, he's the fucking bee's knees, man. Butterflies.
I will admit, there was a hell of a goalie before I left for the military that used to play for our local team, the Hershey Bears.
The Hershey. Oh my God, you're in Pennsylvania. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, I just made that connection.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. I'm about 50 minutes from Hershey, 45, 50.
That's awesome.
Anywho, he was... I don't remember his name. I'm not even going to pretend to remember his name. I'm pretty sure he went pro, but he was the best goalie I've ever seen in my life, hands down. He was a beast.
How far are you from Scranton?
Pretty far.
You're giving me finger guns, but I fucking know what that means, man.
Hockenberry knows what it means.
Pretty far from Scranton. When I say pretty far, I mean like maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours.
That's not far. That's a drive to the city.
Yeah, but bear in mind, like, California, like, people are like, it's different in California, because if you were to take California and put it on the East Coast, that covers, New Hampshire to fucking, the top of, Florida.
Yeah, California is ridiculous.
California is long. Long cat. Long.
If you take California, you put it across Europe.
There you go.
You got 50 fucking countries.
So in Scranton, Pennsylvania is one of my favorite TV shows, The Office.
No shit.
Yep.
Did you get that, Hockenberry?
No, what TV show?
The Office.
Thank you very much.
The Office is in Scranton.
Scranton, Pennsylvania.
Thank you very much, Hockenberry.
What did he say?
He didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Apparently Scranton, Pennsylvania is well known for its mines, coal mines, I think.
Yeah.
Something like that?
Yeah.
Oh,
what the fuck is this?
I don't know, but you're wearing half of it.
Gross.
Well, that's pretty much it for me.
Yeah. Alrighty, so we're going to go ahead and end this episode with half this beer on me. So these beers need to be refrigerated.
So it would seem.
Alright, give me a second, Hockenberry. I'm going to go ahead and end this shit.